I'm going to expose my top 10 favorite units in Rome 2. All of these units are very strong, but they all got a specific counter unit and strat which I will let you guys know. It will be a build up until the top 3. So at number 10 we got the Raiding Horsemen of Tylus. I don't think a lot of people know about this one, but this one is much stronger than you think. As you know, Tylus doesn't have a lot of cavalry options, and the options aren't that good. Only the Noble Horse is pretty decent, but the Light Horse is trash. The Raiding Horseman for 40 cost extra has better melee stats than the Light Horse, and on top of that it got skirmish capabilities, so it's a perfect cavalry unit for Tylus. Their biggest counter would be Horse Archers, but even then they could soak up and dodge quite a lot of ammo of the Horse Archers, if they are used right. I'm curious if you guys knew that this cavalry was that strong, because I discovered it just recently. But next up at number 10 we got the Steppe Archers and the Parthian Foot Archers. These are both very cheap low tier cost archers. Both of these archers are the only one for that low cost with 40 missile damage, which is insane. The Parthian one got also precision shot, which is even better, but it also costs 70 more. And yeah, that's why these two archers are perfect at shooting infantry. They are not really there to counter other archers because they don't have a lot of armor and they will die pretty fast, and you want to really save all the ammo just for infantry. And yeah, because of their low armor, the biggest counter for them is high tier archers with a lot of armor and slingers. At number 8 we got the classic Club Levy. I think a lot of people know this unit very well because Pixelated Apollo made a couple of videos where he spammed Club Levy with golden chevrons. Just so you know, that strategy is definitely not effective, but it's very fun to try at least once. Overall it's a very cost effective unit. You're only paying 200 for decent melee stats and 40 armor, which is more than the Bloodsworn. But the bonus versus infantry really does it for this unit, which gives the unit 10 more melee attack and 10 more weapon damage. But yeah, their biggest counter is cavalry units. Literally every cavalry unit, even the low tiers. Because shooting these units isn't really cost effective because they got a decent amount of armor and shooting them will be just a waste of ammo. Instead, try to kill one with your cavalry because they got 10 bonus versus infantry and that won't count against cavalry, so that makes the unit basically trash against cavalry. And if you need a suggestion, please use the Camel Raiders. They will absolutely destroy them with their heavy mass. Next up at number 7 we got the Getae Peltas. I absolutely love this one. These have 60 armor, crazy melee stats, especially with the 40 weapon damage, which no other missile unit in the game has. In land battles they're very useful because they can handle a cavalry charge and hold out in combat afterwards. In sieges they're also very useful because they can tank a lot of shots with their 60 armor, and within that time they're getting shot they can use up all their ammo very fast because they got the fast reload ability, and you basically shoot them for nothing. And the only good counter against this unit is heavy cavalry, which in sieges is nearly impossible. Next up at number 6 we got the mid-tier infantry section. With that I got 3 units which I really love. Those are the Scutari, the Mercenary Mascot Marauders, and the Sword Followers for Boyai. Why do I choose the Sword Followers of Boyai? Because I literally grew up with them. No, it's just basically when I was learning the game and getting a lot of experience, I was playing a lot Boyai and a lot with Sword Followers because they are just extremely strong. But the best counter against Sword Followers are the Tribal Warriors because they are the best mid-tier in the game. And the other 2 mid-tier units that I really want to address are the Scutari and the Mercenary Mascot Marauders from Saba. These 2 units are, trust me, extremely cheap for the price. They are a little bit a high risk, high reward unit, but with 60 and 65 armor they're pretty stable. Next up at number 5 we got another Suebi unit, and that is the Germanic Slingers. Suebi got really a lot of units that are really exceptional good. I even have a third Suebi unit in the top 3 of this list, so Suebi is definitely a strong faction. And these Germanic Slingers are exceptionally good, not because of the high damage they do, but because they don't die. They have the highest armor for any slinger in the game, which is 30 armor, and they have the highest block chance of any slinger in the game. And these guys, especially if you spread them out really thin, just don't die. They are so annoying to fight against. They really don't have any counters. The only threat is cavalry, of course. It's really not worth it to shoot at them in land battles, but in sieges you can definitely try and kill them because they can't stand spread out like that. Next up at number 4, which just misses the top 3, we got the Elite Hoplites, and with those I mean the Spartan Elite Hoplites, the Royal Spartans, and the Illyrian Noble Hoplites of RDI. These guys are tanks. The Spartan one got 105 armor, Illyrian one got 115 armor. The nice thing about the Illyrian Noble Hoplite is it costs only 1060, expert charge, defense, the good spear with 30 weapon damage. And yeah, the Royal Spartan is the best hoplite in the game, and that's why it deserves a spot on this list. And then you got the question, how do you counter these? It's pretty hard to counter them, but basically use Pila on them. Pila has armor piercing damage, and the same counts for Slingers. Slingers got higher AP damage than normal archers. But furthermore, there's not really a big counter to these hoplites. So yeah, now we reached the top 3, and for the 3rd place we got the Thureos Spears. Everyone that knows me a little bit and watched a couple of my videos knows that I love Thureos Spears. And with the Thureos Spears, I'm specifically talking about the Thureos Spears, not the Levy Thureos Spears of Egypt, not the ones of RDI, etc. Literally the standard Thureos Spears. So the thing is, those 360 cost and 380 cost Thureos Spear units with 5 Pila rounds are very nice, but afterwards they're useless. They basically can't get kills. The nice thing about the Thureos Spears, if you use them well, they can still rack another 80-100 kills after they've thrown their Pila, as long as you psycho charge them and use them correctly. Because these guys have a high charge bonus, especially the Massilian Thureos Spears. They got a 30 charge bonus, high melee attack, 5 extra health compared to the normal Thureos Spear. So yeah, the Massilian is even better. Just in general, normal Thureos Spears are way better than you think. You just got to appreciate the unit even after it's out of Pila. So you got to think as if it is a Thracian warrior with a lot of armor. Charge in, charge out, bomb, and it will get 20 kills. The nice thing about Pila is that it kills other units very fast, which will make grinding down choke points much easier and much faster. If you ask me, I would put even the Thureos Spears at number 1, but that would be a little bit biased, because there's literally no counter to this unit. But next up at the second place we got the elite sword units. Those are the Suebi Sword Masters, the third unit for Suebi, and the Royal Forex Swordsman. What I like about these units is their high armor, their 70 health for the Sword Masters and the 65 for the Royal Forex Swordsman. If the Royal Forex Swordsman had 5 extra health, they would even be better than those Sword Masters. But most importantly, their high melee defense. The Royal Forex Swords are known to be worse than the Royal Peltas, at least in a 1v1, but I really do believe that the Royal Forex Swordsmen are much better at killing mid tiers and low tiers, because they got a much higher melee defense, which will help them to survive hits from enemy units. And we all know the meta for Suebi, in sieges at least, is just to spam Sword Masters combined with Club Levy. Knowing that this meta is really effective makes Royal Forex spam with Egyptian Infantry, which also costs 200, also really effective. And if you want to try that, I would suggest one of these armies. And last but not least, we got to give the number 1 spot to the Camel Cataphracts. We all know that this unit is crazy strong. For only 1000 denarii you can get a unit which can destroy low tier and mid tier units on a charge, just like that. And it will still do crazy damage against a high tier unit. Just as a side note, Parthia got almost exactly the same Cataphract, but that one costs 260 more. So a 1000 cost Camel Cataphract is 100% worth your money. But now you got the question, how do you counter these Cataphracts? Well, believe it or not, archer units will do a crazy amount of damage against these Cataphracts. You wouldn't think so because they have 90 armor, but the thing is, archer units have 120 man count and camels got 60 man count. So one volley of archers will be way more devastating against cavalry or camel units compared to infantry units with 160 man count. If you kinda get what I mean. Melee cavalry combined with a spear unit will also do the job, but these guys are just crazy. Deserve definitely the spot at number 1. I'm curious if you guys would put other units in the top 3 or top 10. And yeah, it feels good to make a video again after like 2 months. But yeah, if you're willing to watch more videos of mine, I would suggest this one. And I will see you guys over there. Bye bye.